Alright, this is a continuation of the previous video on metric conversions. I just want to point out a few things that I didn't have time for in the previous video. One of them is that you're not always going to be using meter as your base unit. There will be times when you're using your other units, like liters, for example. You could be doing volume, which would be in liters. Or you could be doing unit of mass. You could be using grams. So when I did this example, the base unit here was meter, but you could easily replace this with liter or gram. So keep that in mind. And then that would also change all of the words here. For example, this would be kiloliter, hectoliter, decaliter, and so on. And now also keep in mind, there may be times when you're given a question and you don't have this nice chart in front of you. And, well, that's not a big problem though, because if you remember, King Hector decorated many different clown masks. You can easily recreate this chart. Just make sure that you start with kilo on the left and work toward milli on the right. So let's just do a quick example. If you have a question that says you have 5.47 liters, and you need to turn it into centiliters, you could easily just jot down a quick version of this chart. It doesn't have to be this fancy. And take a look here. Liters, well, that's a base unit. So come up here to the base column. You're starting here. I'll make a little X just to show I'm starting here. And you have to go to centiliters. So where's centiliters? Well, over here. So how many movements have to take place? Well, 2. You have to move once and twice. And notice you're moving to the right. So what you need to do over here is move this decimal to the right twice. So instead of 5.47, your answer is 547. Also keep in mind, the base unit could be something different. It might not be meter, liter, or gram. It might be a unit that you don't even understand or know very much about. That's fine. Maybe it's, for example, amps. Amps, that's a unit you use when studying electricity, when measuring electric current. But you don't need to know anything about amps to do a conversion, as long as you understand it's a base unit. So let's convert 0.38 amps into milliamps. Well, you realize you're starting with the base unit. So we're starting here, and we're moving to milli. So that means that we're moving over 1, 2, 3 places. So the decimal has to move 1, 2, 3 times. So 0.38 amps is 380 milliamps. Another unit you might run into is called a mole. And the term mole is used in chemistry, and we will learn more about it coming up. And you don't need to know exactly what it is right now. If someone said that you have 2.4 kilomoles and asked you how many millimoles is that? Well, it's not a big problem. Kilo is over here. Milli is way over here. So we need to do a lot of shifting of our decimal. How many decimal places? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we had 2.4, but now you move over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me just count that one more time. I started with my decimal between 2 and the 4 when I had my original problem. I'm moving over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right, so my answer is 2,400,000 millimoles. Now what I'm going to do here is write down a couple for you to try. Take 57 hectoliters and please turn that into centiliters. I'm running out of room on the page here, so I'm squeezing it in. That's centiliters. And over here, 18 kilograms. Please change that into decigrams. So here are your two problems. 57 hectoliters, you need to change it into centiliters. 18 kilograms, you need to change into decigrams. So please press pause on the video and take a few minutes right here to work it out, get your answer, and then press play and check your work. Okay, we're back. For 57 hectoliters, you should have started over here at hecto and moved over to centi, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So starting with your decimal after 57, move over 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, you should have 570,000 centiliters. For 18 kilograms, start with kilo and move to deci, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So add 4 zeros here, and you should have 180,000 decigrams. There's one more problem I'd like to give you for you to try. I'd like you to take 12.8 decigrams and convert that into hectograms. I want to make sure that you can start with a prefix over here on the right and move to the left, so give that one a try. Press pause right now, try it out, then press play, and we'll check your work. So your answer to 12.8 decigrams should be 0.0128 or 0.0128, same thing. And let's check how you should have done that. You should have started over here with deci and moved left to hecto. 1, 2, 3 places. So your decimal originally was between the 2 and 8, so here it was between 2 and 8, so you would go over 1, 2, 3, and that is how you arrive at the correct answer. 0.0128 hectograms. And that concludes this video.